Hi, oh my God, hi guys. Hello, welcome to Creative Conversations. I'm gonna wait and see if a few more people come on. Have patience with me tonight. My allergies that I'm hoping is allergies is acting crazy. So, hi T, what's going on? So I say that to say I'm gonna be drinking my tea. I have some oranges here and water, so yeah. I'm really excited. I'm nervous, but more excited than nervous. All right, so I'm gonna get started with an introduction. Introduction to me. So my name is London with a Y. I'm an artist. For the first time in my life, I can say that I'm an artist. It took me very long to believe in that. So yes, I'm an artist. I'm a wearable artist. My art started as a form of therapy when my brother passed, Kyle. So that's the London Kyle, or the Kyle part of London Kyle. He passed when I was 21 years old. He was 16. That was about 16 years ago now. And he passed from carbon monoxide poisoning in his grandma's house. The furnace had busted. It came through the radiator. It was an old house. He was in his sleep, so I'm grateful that he passed in his sleep. But that was something that was the second relationship that I had in my life that was a close loss for me. The first being my great-grandmother, who used to watch me when I was younger. But with him, and both of those actually was sort of like an awakening. An awakening to being present more, being more in the present moment. With Kyle, though, it was a little different. Like, I was in the present moment as far as I knew that, like, this happened, and my emotions, I felt them all day, every day. But I was so devastated that I would literally drink and drive. Drink. So crazy. Drive so crazy just so... Hi, Nina. Just so that I could be with him, essentially. Like, I was just so over it. Until one day, I was drinking and I went out with a friend. This is when I was living in Charlotte, North Carolina for college. By the way, guys, I'm originally from New York, the Bronx, New York. I'm actually right now in my childhood home, which my grandfather got for us, well, for my mom and his family. So yes, for us, I wasn't yet thought of, but such a blessing to be in this home. I know that my ancestors are in this home with me. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But back to being in Charlotte, North Carolina, after my brother passed. And so one night I was going to a party with a friend of mine at that time. And we were drinking at this party, and left the party driving, and I got hit from the back from another car. Hi, B, love you. I got hit from the back from another car, got out the car. When I looked, the guy was like bent over on the steering wheel as if he like was hurt. So I was going like, I didn't know what to do. I was in the moment, my adrenaline, everything. So I'm like walking towards to see if he was hurt. And as I was walking towards him, he rushed me with a gun and was asking me for money and just essentially trying to rob me and this person that I was with. And in that moment, that's when, like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me at all in this moment. Like, I was just literally being guided because everything was happening so fast and happening in a way that made sense, but didn't make sense to me at that time because I wouldn't have thought of these things. And so I was like, oh, let's go to, I don't have anything on me. I have money in the house. Let's go to our house. And so he tried to get him to go there, and he stopped us on the road, pulled us over, was asking, do you think I'm fucking lying? Do you guys want to die tonight? You bitches think I'm lying? And we were like, no. And so what it was, I got him to the bank, and I knew I didn't have any money in the bank, but Egon knew, my ancestors knew that there's a camera at the bank. And so essentially that worked in his favor. Worked in my favor. Long story short, I ended up being raped. So this was a rape and kidnapping. Thank God I got away. And that was something else that sparked another growth within me. It took a long time for me to heal from it because I didn't know how to. And so I was just turning to drinking and smoking, and I'm okay. Oh yeah. And everybody at this time too, like, how I know I'm telling you this story and you guys are like, how is she telling you the story and smiling and like how I am? But the same way that I'm able to tell you this story now is how I told it to other people. Not essentially smiling like how I am now. Well, I do smile when I get nervous, but more so on how. And I used to always get, you're so strong. And so from getting, you're so strong, having to hold up that storyline of perspective of who people see you as being, and not essentially healing the proper way that I needed to. Because why? I'm so strong. People, I'm good. Like, I cried, I'm good. When really in all actuality, I wasn't. And so I remember one day being in a pool in North Carolina and with my friend Mars and the same person who was with me that night that I was raped. And with Mars, we were hanging out, and I was like, I just kept hearing shoes, create shoes. And at the time I was in art school, the Art Institute of Charlotte, so I knew how to do some Photoshop, a little bit of Illustrator. I was really interested into graphic design and all of that because it was something that was so specific. And because of my ADHD, I need things to be, or systems are like very like helpful for me. And so I loved it. And so I started creating shoes digitally. And within doing this, I was like, oh man, these are really dope. Things that I've never seen before. I still have some of my digital creations, which I can share with you guys on here after. That's another thing I'm going to do. I'll be sharing like different reference points in my stories to keep you guys kind of connected visually. I'm a visual person, so I'll do that. But yeah, sorry. What was I saying? Oh, so I started creating digitally. But then it was like, okay, so what's the next step? So looking into manufacturing these shoes, which I didn't have the money for. I still today don't have the money to manufacture shoes the way that I really want to. And so I one day was with a friend, and we were about to go to a party, and we went to Aldo. And I purchased these just plain black boots that I did not have, some ankle boots. And I come back home. The party was in Brooklyn. I live in the Bronx. So to take to get there, take the train or whatever. Train, it would be about over an hour. Driving about 30 minutes. Either way, I didn't feel like doing it anymore. And so I contacted my friend to tell her, hey, I really don't feel like going. That was the end of that. But that night I kept hearing paint the shoe, paint the shoe, paint the shoe, paint the shoe. And when I say hearing, it's my own voice in my head. Paint the shoe, paint the shoe, paint the shoe. So I start painting the boot, and I'm like liking it. I'm actually really loving it. And the colors that I used were my traditional blue, gold, black, and white. When I first did it, it wasn't necessarily a print or a pattern, but more so of, it just looked like earth to me. And I'm a Taurus, I'm an earth sign, so naturally so. But it was just something about it that just was so worldly of it, and was so like bigger than myself in that moment, but I just didn't really know what it was. And so I had posted it and everybody loved it, but I still wasn't, it was just not even a hobby, like just something that I heard to do, and I did it. Later down the line, I wore the shoes out to New Year's one year, and everybody loved them, and I was really excited, but they started falling apart because I used like regular paint, regular acrylic paint, and the paint that I needed to use is the paint that I use now, which is called Angelus, and they are specifically for sneakerheads, so customizations. It is an acrylic paint, but it doesn't crack, it lasts, it's specifically for that point. And so I got into Angelus, and I started just trying to do whatever. I don't even know, I didn't go to school for design. I went to school for fashion marketing and management. I went to art school, and I took art classes, but it wasn't my focal classes. So again, this is all really self-taught. This is nothing that I trained for, which made me feel like I couldn't do it. And so it took me a long time to really discover who London is, what London Kyle is, and the direction that it's going. Which leads me here today to Creative Conversations. And so I also work I have a 9-to-5 per se, at a Pakistani streetwear brand, which I love. It's also a social impact brand. And it's something that doesn't feel like work, but also supports me in trying to move forward in what it is that I'm doing. But while being here, I meet a whole bunch of people. It's in the Chelsea market in Chelsea, New York. I meet so many people, so many creatives across the world, internationally, that are fucking phenomenal. But we all have the same thing in mind. We think about, oh, we haven't pushed ourselves out there because we're not trained to do so, or that person has already done this, so we can't do it, or look how professional that looks, or whatever the case may be. All the doubts that we have, that we all literally have, that we're not talking to each other about. And so community, at the end of last year, was coming to me heavy, really big. And being able to connect with people outside of the internet, in real life, is so important to me. It feels good to me. It's healing to me. It's organic. And I know that big things can happen from it. And so Creative Conversations is just a way to connect with those people, connect with other creatives, get a insight to my conversations that I have with my own friends, my own family, that are dope-ass conversations, that are conversations that we all are probably having. And so that is that. What I expect from it is nothing, honestly, nothing at all, but for us to get together, for community, to learn more about other creatives that are out there and work together. I feel like, oh, hey, Kay. Excuse me. I feel like there's so much more that we can do together. If I am I do shoes, but I also was a visual merchandiser for Macy's. So really, essentially, what I learned from being a visual merchandiser has helped me to be a artist, designer, which can help you who made music videos. I have the vision, you know, I can put together the ideas, but somebody now, the producer or the director, can now put it together even more. It's like, why do we feel like we have to do all these things by ourselves when we don't have to? So that is like the biggest goal of this. And also us healing from each other's experiences. I believe that our lives were never about us. I believe that we go through similar experiences to help one another through them. So while we're here not communicating, not connecting, and maybe being in depression, or maybe wondering what our next steps are doing this alone, when we can connect and just say, hey, it doesn't even have to be many words. It could just be tears for all I care, right? But those tears are going to lead to the next connection. And if I'm able to assist you how I need to assist you, and vice versa. Yeah. I don't really know what else to say. I thought this would be like a longer thing, a longer process. I think this one will be shorter. The first episode will be shorter. Because I really don't have any guests on here, so I'm really not having a conversation. But if you guys have any questions about how I got started, I know for me, some challenges that I have with London Kyle and being an artist is really trying to figure out which way to go. Let's start with how your art. Oh. Thanks, bestie. Let's start with that though, right? And so I've always been like this. Like, this is naturally me. I'm not trying to be nobody. I don't have the energy to try to be anybody. You're doing the most. But I will. See, you got my crystals all falling. So my besties told me to stand up and show you guys my outfit. When I say I literally, this is really just to be comfortable. So this is actually a dress that is like an open skirt and all that. But then I was like, oh, it's cute to match my hair, yada yada. But so this is the pants. It opens on the side. Nothing too crazy. But yeah. So again, it's just an expression of oneself. Not necessarily planned or trying to be anything other than myself. But also knowing that I always didn't have this courage. And actually, I'm very, 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 very shy and very, very, very anxious. And so to have support, to have people in my corner is everything. There's nobody in this world that came into this world 1,000% completely free. Like, of course, when we were born as a baby, but once we started getting those outside influences from different people, movies, whatever the case may be, that's when we start not to be free and we start not to be ourselves and getting away from that, which makes us anxious, which makes us halt, which makes us stop because it's not who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. How your heart feels about your art right now. So, thank you. So when I first started my art, again, as I said, the colors were always, this is one of my first pieces when I started. So the colors were always this blue. It was actually yellow at first. Yellow was representing my brother. His favorite color was yellow. And then this cow print. And I know a lot of people, they think that it's flowers or whatever the case may be. But I heard blue cow, blue cow, blue cow. And so I did that, but I had no reason, no understanding of why I was doing it. A blue cow, what is that? What is that? I've never seen a blue cow in my life. What does that mean? And so I started researching it. I started researching cow to see what connection it had to me. And the thing that I found was this quote. And it says, "You have 2 cows, you sell one and force the other to produce the milk of 4 cows. Later, you hire a consultant to analyze why the cow has died." And for me, it was having my corporate job at the time, knowing that I hated it. Like, the more and more promoted that I got, the more corporate that it was, and less creative. And I knew that it literally, like, made my body stiff. It literally gave me anxiety to go in, to know that I wasn't able to be myself 1,000%. And so that resonated with me so much. And so I created this dress, and my slogan was "Less cows, more humans." But as I'm learning, my art is prophetic. It's a lot of things that I do ahead of time that I have no idea, no connection to it. As far as my mind, my spirit is already connected to it. And this was one of them, because right now I think that this message needs to come back more than ever. Less cows, more humans. With all of us, with the immigration, I don't even want to say processes, because there's no process in place, but what's going on with immigration, what's going on with the world in general, the genocides, with the genocides, with everything. Less cows, more humans. We are human beings, but we're also spiritual beings. We came here to do something. Whatever it is that we feel, that inkling, whatever it is that we love in that moment. And we may not love it later on down in life, but just that one piece of the puzzle is what is going to take us to the next level. I used to say that life is like Pac-Man, right? And so you're going to keep going, or you're not, the next level is not going to open up until you're ready for it. And so you kind of have to master that level, master where you're at. Understand why you're still there. Understand what it is that you need to get rid of, or you need to accomplish to be able to move forward and move on. And how does that quote fit in today, or does it still resonate? It does. It does. Now, today my art is a little bit different. I still have the same pattern. I switched up the colors a little bit. Currently I have, and I should have had it here, sorry guys. Currently I have a brown chocolate background, and it's like this baby blue and gold. And more so to me now, my art less represents a cow and more so represents the universe. More represents the dualities of the universe, right? So I have, it's almost always those 2 contrasts of colors when it comes to these little figures. And I love that these figures aren't perfect. So this one is different from this one. They're all gonna be different because it's all different experiences, and it's all different, the different choices that we have to make, that makes up our whole universe and our whole, who we are as beings. And so now I would say my art is more so of healing for me. It's not so much of like trying to create for people to purchase. At least I don't want it to be like that anymore. It was never like that in the beginning. It was literally just a therapy for me, to release things that I've focused on throughout my day, throughout months, throughout years, that I haven't been able to let go, that I'm able to get lost in my art and let it go. So it's very sacred. It's very special in that way. During the beginning of the pandemic, I made some orange boots that I want to bring back. And I did not know that they were gonna be like liked as much as they were. Like that was probably my first, it wasn't like viral, but that was my first like people that I weren't my followers, just everybody just reposting and sharing them. Oh my God, I love these, and do you have this size and that size? But I wasn't prepared for that. And being that I do all of my art by hand, I tried. So I pushed through. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this run of shoes. I treated it as if I was a manufacturer myself, which I'm not, I'm a human. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy these running shoes, and I'm gonna make all these shoes, and I'm gonna be able to push them out, and whatever, handmade manufacturer. No. The way that my energy is set up, the way that everyday life is set up is just impossible. But again, I was doing these things in front of everybody, which I've never been afraid to do essentially, but I feel like our society makes us afraid to do things out loud, to make mistakes, to grow. It's like you have to come out and just automatically have your brand or your business or whatever, and just know what you're doing, and that's what it is. And that's not true. And so I'm really grateful to be able to not only make mistakes out loud, but to be able to see the lessons in them and to break them down and express them and explain them so that others may learn from them or connect or resonate with them. Cow quote showing up. What was that, B? Cow quote showing up? I don't understand. But yeah, and so I made these shoes during the pandemic, orange shoes. And it took the fun out of what I was doing in the first place. I feel like I was stressing more. I feel like I wasn't, my art, my technique wasn't where it needed to be. Still to this day, I don't feel like where it needs to be. But there's nothing, you're never going to be prepared for something. And if you wait forever to think that you're going to be perfectly prepared for something, it's going to pass you by and you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be gone, and then that idea or that energy is going to move on to somebody else that will do it. And so leading into today and the structure of how I want my art to go, I am going to start creating again from a space of passion, from a space of love, from a space of not trying to create something for others to consume necessarily, but for them wanting them to consume my art. And with that being said, it's going to be more on like an auction base, which I think would be pretty cool. So any artwork that I have, whether it be shoes, whether it be puzzles, whether it be actual artwork on a canvas, whatever form that I do, a jacket, whatever it is, I want to have these pieces where you guys can auction it off, and whoever the highest bidder is, you guys can, that's yours, it's your art. I feel like we're in a time now where times are fucking hard. Times probably are the hardest that, I know it's the hardest that I've ever experienced. I would love to speak to elders because they've been through different, decades and different times of their own difficulties. But this is rough right now. People don't necessarily have money to afford things that they want, let alone things that they need. And so for people to be able to afford art, that's my like zeitgeist right now of the time, to be able to do an auction and you guys auction it off and have a piece of my artwork. Now for things that are like merchandise, like my journals that I have, maybe it will be a specific, my t-shirts that I have, those things will be set at a specific price. But everything else is pretty much going to be auctioned off and you guys can have it. When were you trying to make the shoes during the pandemic? The cow quote was showing up. Trying to push the one person. When you were trying to make Ah, heard you. Okay. What would you tell someone who is scared to do what they love? Oh my gosh. This is what this is about. Do it. I'm here to support you. I'm here to tell you, do it. It depends on what it is. Also, essentially, like, I wouldn't say, like, just quit your job and just go for it. Unless you have the means to do that. I know I don't have the means to do that, so I still work. But what I did do, and this is a perfect example of, really evaluating yourself. Excuse me, guys, sorry. A perfect time to really evaluate yourself and say, hey, what am I lacking? Like, where's the accountability that I need to take? What are the moves, the action that I need to really do in order for this to work? For me, this time around, I do work, but I work 4 days a week. I was working 5 and I took it down to 4, so that alafia, so that was something that that helped me. And then I actually asked my mother to move back in with me to help me with expenses. This is something that I really want to do. I never had the chance to really do it seriously because I didn't have the support to do it. And so now she's here. And now I'm trying to go hard. Now I'm showing up. As scared as I am today to be on here, I am showing up for myself. I am showing up for you. I am showing up for anybody in the community that needs it, the support. And so, yeah, I would just say analyze what it is that you want to do. Analyze what it is that you want to do. And then, make a plan. Make a plan. As cliche as it sounds, once I started writing things down and it just started like making sense, it was just like, that's the thing. When you take action, that's it. When you take action, there's no other questions that are going to be asked. And you're going in the right direction. It's just going to go, everything's going to come out just so clear to you, clear as day. So just start. Just start. That's it. It's okay to be a beginner. That it's okay to be a beginner. That if you don't do it, you're denying yourself a part of you. Just do it. Nothing is stopping you but you. You're amazing and it's your birthright to do something. Yes. It is absolutely that. Absolutely that. We have been, again, trained and taught and brought up, right? And so our parents could only do the best that they could. Their parents could only do the best that they could for the times that they were in. And that's why I always say that this is a relay marathon, right? Because now we're taking what it is that they gave us, see? What it is that they gave us, and moving forward with the energy, moving forward with the mistakes, moving forward with what went right, and evolving these things. I know a lot of people try to like recreate the wheel, and it's not necessarily that. It's also like perfecting what that wheel is. And not even perfecting, because nothing needs to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. Yeah. When you take action, there are no other questions to be asked. Exactly. Any other questions? I'm trying to think on what else. And then just showing up for myself, period. Like, outside of art. I'm doing this because people don't really know me outside of like a dope ass picture or promoting my art. And I'm funny as fuck, and I'm crazy, and I'm moody, and I'm all these things, all these dualities, all these what do you call it? Dualities, multiplicities, all these things that we are made up of, and we don't have to choose one or the other. Like, that's what I learned this year heavy. It's like, I really can make my own story. I really can be whoever I want to be. What's up, Q? I really can be whoever I want to be, but like not in the cliche way. Like literally tomorrow, if I wanted to wake up and I don't know, be a botanist, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, and I can't do it. So yeah. Hi guys. I was just talking about what Creative Conversations is. If you're just joining this live, it's about connecting. It's about community. It's about having conversations that we have with ourselves that we should be having with other people, because we need that support. We need that that cheerleader, that cheer in our corner. You know, a lot of people, we can sit here and we can say, oh, we don't want to be seen, right? Because I say that all the time. Like, I'm not yet a social media person, but in all actuality, I really don't want to be one. I just want to be able, in a sense, of getting the message out there more, getting my artwork out there more, getting my energy out there more, not necessarily to be like, oh, I'm famous, oh, I have all these followers, because that shit doesn't matter. It's not going to stop anything that needs to be stopped in this world. It's not going to help you. It'll help you get to a certain point, right? So think about this. Even with celebrities, even with these people who are famous that don't know the core of who they are in their souls, it's going to get them to a point thus far. It's going to get them to a threshold where they can no longer cross because they didn't do the work, or they're not true to themselves. And that's a lot of what we're seeing now. It's a lot of like, we're not fooling, we're not falling for the foolery. We're just not. What's going on? I miss you. Damn, bestie. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I thought this was going to be longer. If anybody wants to come on here with me, have some conversation, some questions, yeah. If not, I'm going to go and relax because I'm not feeling that well. I hope that I covered everything. Oh, so it's going to be Creative Conversations on Instagram. You have to have like 1,000 followers before you can go live on TikTok, which I don't have yet. And it's going to be every other Sunday, so twice a month. I will definitely put the information out when it needs to go out. You guys should probably, like, do they still do that alert thing with the bell? You guys probably, the notifications, get notifications from me because I do not post that much, so I'm not in the algorithm scheme. But if you do want to keep up with Creative Conversations, my artwork, what I'm doing, then I would suggest clicking the notifications on my page. And yes, if anybody has anything that they want to reach out to me about outside of the live or outside of Instagram, you can. info@londonkyle.com or in my DM, so it's private. I don't know if I want that actually. No. info@londonkyle.com. But I'm gonna go. I love you guys. I thank you for listening. This was about 40 minutes, so I did good. I know that when I have somebody to conversate with, it'll be probably 20 minutes longer. But thank you for listening. Anything that I missed, I'll kind of plug in during the week here and there. And I did it. Sorry, I have to celebrate. I'm so excited. You guys don't know how nervous I've been to do this. creative conversations has been something that's came to me since 2019, 2020. I just didn't know what to do with it, but now it feels so much more comfortable. I feel good about it. I don't feel nervous. So I'm really excited. So thank you guys. And the lesson for today is just start. Ow. Bye.